Let's go shopping to PetSmart. Supervisor is leading the way into PetSmart, checking out whatever he wants to check out before I escort him back to the fairy garden section. Straight into the kibble aisle. We are at PetSmart and I am shopping for fairy garden stuff. You might not think that PetSmart is a place where you can buy fairy garden things, but you would be truly mistaken. This is the aquarium section at PetSmart and I am so excited. I literally want to buy the entire section. I'm going to give you guys quite an up-close look at many of the ornamental figurines here. These are definitely meant for terrariums, aquariums, all those different things, but I am going to use a couple pieces in a fairy garden. I haven't even picked which ones I'm going to get because I am so drawn to so many different items I cannot choose. I really hope one day in the distant future PetSmart will sponsor my channel because I literally want to buy the whole aisle, and I would be happy to make a fairy garden every week, every day. Maybe that's too much, but I'd be happy to make a whole pile of fairy gardens showcasing all of these unique items because they are so fun and I want to show them off. You could do so much stuff with fairy gardens. Let me show you why I'm so excited. I literally am so thrilled. I'm going to start at one end of the aisle and work my way down because there is just so much to see here. You could do so much with so many different pieces. To think that these are just for aquariums is kind of silly. Like, you could definitely do fairy gardens. You could do regular garden art. You could do some other kinds of miniature crafts. So many things with these pieces. This tree right here, oh my god, I would be so thrilled to make a fairy garden with that. That is so cool. $41.99, a little pricey, but for what it is, probably worth it. It's a very, very large piece. And interestingly enough, right next to the tree, we have what to me looks like a little garden gnome. Don't ask me why there is a gnome in the aquarium section, but I think it's very cool. Could definitely put him into, maybe he's a leprechaun actually. Definitely put him into a fairy garden or some other type of garden display. Got a classic dragon. I haven't gotten into this genre of fairy gardens yet, but I could definitely do something with a dragon. Different type of tree here. This one has more of a slant and is a little bit cheaper actually. And I could totally see having a little character coming out of this door. Could have some different rabbits and other little creatures in the grass here. This would be such an awesome piece for a fairy garden display. We've got the classic bridges. These are in typical fairy garden places where you would get fairy garden items, different styles. I totally see this as a character in my magic mushroom display. I really, really want to buy it, but I don't know if I can justify the price. I'm not 100% certain, but it's either $47.99 or, well, it probably is $47.99. Seems pretty expensive. It's a huge piece, but I don't know if I can justify spending that much on YouTube when I don't really make any money from YouTube. But I could totally put this into the display. I'm gonna have to think about it. Really, really love this piece. I love all of these foliage and rock displays. I'm currently creating a dry river creek area in my backyard. These would go so well in this kind of a display. Same with these rustic looking pieces of wood. This would be so cool whether it's in my dry creek display that I'm going to be creating or I'm in the process of making. This could be cool in a Halloween display, a fall display, just a general garden display. You could have a little critter coming out of here, ladybugs, squirrels, all kinds of little creatures on this little wooden display. Birds, butterflies. It's such a cool piece. This here I think is super, super cool. You could have a fairy looking through this portal, or a wizard looking through the portal. All kinds of different creatures. You could use this for so many different things. It's a very, very cool piece, and I am actually very, very tempted with this one. I might get that. Clearly we are definitely in the aquarium section. I'm seeing lots of little bottles everywhere. And this wood. This seems silly to me because here in the Pacific Northwest we can just go out and get stuff like this in the forest, but finding one shaped like these particular shapes can be a little tricky. It is a very cool piece of decoration. And I have to show you this piece. I literally thrifted this at Value Village last week for $5. I had no idea that it was quite a bit more expensive, and it is literally the exact piece. I have it at home. I will show you. I can't remember if I took the price tag off, but cannot believe it is actually $23.99. So Value Village, thank you for that. These pieces are super cool. I could make something like this, but it definitely gives me inspiration for my fairy gardens. And right here, this skull in the rocks with the foliage. Oh my gosh, this would be perfect for a Halloween display. It is $30 on sale right now. So, so cool. This would seriously take fairy gardens to a whole new level. This piece I'm even more tempted by than some of the other pieces we've looked at. Another portal-like figure here, and it is really tempting me. And we've got a bonsai tree. This is so, so cool. I absolutely love this tree. I would use this in a fairy garden. I would even use this honestly in home decor. I think it is the coolest tree. This is what it looks like. I think $15.99. I am tempted by this tree too. Like, oh my goodness. Where do they come up with all this fun stuff? I don't even know. This here, this is another super, super cool piece. This could be awesome in the garden by itself, or even in a fairy garden, even home decor. You could do so much with a piece like this. I'm very, very tempted. It is $20. There are too many things tempting me today, but I had no idea the aquarium section was so full of so many cool fairy garden stuff. Again, this one right here, can you just picture this in a fairy garden? It's already got the fairy garden stuff. We got a snail. It's made of rocks with foliage. This is like beyond. I've never been so excited about something in so long. This is just so, so cool. $15.99 on sale for this piece. Probably worth it. But again, I can't buy the whole store, so I'm gonna have to be really selective of what I pick, but such a fun place. Here, I don't really know what these are, but this reminds me of very modern garden art. I don't know if I would put this in a fairy garden per se, but I think you could do something cool with it just as a piece of garden art. Coming this way, I am very attracted to all of these rock figurines. You could probably guess, because I love rock gardens, that these rock-like structures would definitely be something I would be interested in. Definitely something I would consider putting either in my rock garden or in a fairy garden display, miniature garden. So many cool things you could do with this, maybe even a terrarium of sorts. I have never gotten into the world of terrariums yet, but I've definitely been thinking about it. Moving right along, here we have some anemones mixed with, I guess they're sea mushrooms. I was very drawn to the mushrooms because I make magic mushroom videos. I thought I could incorporate them, but I have recently learned, looking at many of the tags, we've got a few more mushroom-like structures here. These mushrooms here are so cool and actually very, very affordable. They're $4.79, and I was very tempted to get them for my magic mushroom video, but it says that they only glow under blue light, and I don't really have blue light, so I'm not sure. But having thought about it a little bit more since I've been here for quite a few minutes now, I'm thinking I might get them and paint them with my glow-in-the-dark paint. I do have a selection of glow-in-the-dark paint, so maybe I will do that because they are super cool, these mushrooms. Moving right along, all of these sea-themed ornaments going this way. There are so many different ones to choose from. And coming up here, all of these, I would totally use these in a beach ocean-inspired fairy garden. I have made several of those since I started my fairy garden journey, and I would definitely use them in beach-inspired fairy gardens. We've got a pirate here, and a looks like an airplane that has crashed. Put that on the beach, I guess, or in the ocean. That would be a cool item. Right here, I'm assuming this is either a fake or real piece of coral. I'm not 100% certain. Let's have a look. What does it say? Aquatic decor, blue coral. So I don't know if this is fake or real, but I could 100% see this in a Halloween display. I think this would be a really cool, we could almost call it a haunted tree. You could do something with this. Maybe add a little bit more decor to it, but I could totally picture this in a Halloween display. Very, very cool item. Right here, these items really, really drew me in. I could picture this in my Dry Creek River display or even a separate display. This doesn't even have to be for a fairy garden. This could literally be garden art. I don't know, but I could totally see water coming down here. I don't know if it's meant to. It says bubbler. I wonder if that means it actually does produce, like if you can hook it up to a pump and have water coming down. I don't know, but it's so cool. It reminds me of like a faux pond, but a real pond, like a real waterfall pond like thing. So you don't have the space for a waterfall or a pond in your garden, but you could get something like this. And if there is, well, maybe there is, because there's this hose coming out, so maybe you can connect it to some kind of pump filter. I'm not really sure, but it is such a cool piece. And this is $43.19. I'm sure that is way cheaper than installing a pond in your garden. So cool. And they have a smaller version of it too. I'm actually tempted, but I don't know anything about filters, pumps, water structures, so I probably won't get this, but maybe I need to do a little research on it because it is such a cool item. And right here, I absolutely love this wooden structure with the faux plants. I could 100% make a very, very cool fairy garden with this piece. This is kind of pricey, $47.99. This piece here is actually rather massive, but I could totally create a fairy garden with this, or even use this as garden art. It is pretty pricey, but very, very cool piece. This is $47.99, on sale regularly $59.99. And same with the structure beside this. This would be so awesome in a Japanese garden. I could make a fairy garden with this, but I actually think this is just a really, really cool piece to put in a Japanese shade garden. And I think this piece as well would go really well in a Japanese style shade garden. You've got the Japanese maples, all the shade plants, a really, really nice aesthetic touch.
Of different wrapples here, and even rainbow colored ones, which are tempting me actually.
There's these pieces which remind me of modern garden art. I definitely wouldn't even make a fairy garden with this. This is like an artistic piece. You could use it as home decor. If you're into indoor plants, I could totally see putting this amongst your indoor plants. Maybe even doing something with what is inside. No, maybe not. This is just a really, really cool decor piece. Put it on your mantle in your home. I almost missed this piece. It was tucked away at the back, but it is so cool. My goodness. You could have a whole display of miniature characters coming down the staircase. You could have some on the roof. Such a cool display. $28.79. That is like the cheapest I have seen for these bigger pieces. I am very, very tempted. I honestly have no idea how I'm gonna choose because I can't buy the whole aisle, and I'm really just gonna buy a few pieces to do in one or more displays. So I'm trying to pick the ones that I can get the most use out of, but I want to buy the whole section. Literally, this is a fairy garden creator heaven right here at PetSmart. Like, holy smokes, who would have known? Grandma Sandy, if you're watching this, you need to head directly to your PetSmart ASAP. I don't care if you don't have any pets right now. It's not about the pets. It's about the fairy gardens. I was done all of the stuff that was fairy garden related or aquarium related, and I found another aisle. I cannot believe this. The items are similar but a little bit different here. This particular one right here I find very intriguing. I feel like this could be a really cool cave kind of display. You could have a character coming out from here. I think it's a really, really cool piece. Same with this one here. You could definitely do a really cool fairy garden just with these. And this one is so epic. Oh my goodness. This could be a fairy garden at any time of year. You could do spring, fall, even a winter fairy garden with this. So cool. Just entered another aisle in the aquarium section, and oh my god, they've got florals here. This is so cool. I know that these plants are fake, but they would be so epic in some of fairy garden creations. Oh my goodness, there's so many to choose from, so many vibrant colors and different selections of foliage. I am very tempted here. As you guys know, I recently made that secret succulent. If you watched my secret succulent sanctuary video, you know that I love both real and faux plants, particularly succulents. And these plants right here are giving me very succulent vibes. They look like little air plants, but I guess they're just little faux aquarium plants. done at PetSmart. I'm going to give you a quick little haul from my shopping trip. I ended up buying this little piece here. I think it is so cool. It's going to make the coolest fairy garden portal. I can totally see one of the characters going through this portal. Maybe somebody is on the other side, or maybe somebody is on this side, or we could have a character on both sides. Possibly even some ladybugs or other creatures on top of the portal. It is so cool. I could not resist. So bought these little miniature mushrooms. They are so cool. They do glow under blue lights, but I don't have blue lights, so I'm probably going to paint them with my glow-in-the-dark paint set. I just absolutely love them. And I cannot go to PetSmart without thinking about my supervisor. He wasn't with me this time, but for him we have some Vitality Dog, Angus beef, and blueberry cookies. Supervisor also got these chews. Let's take a little look at those. Kangaroo. They're kangaroo. I've never bought him kangaroo before in his entire life. I kind of have mixed feelings about that, but I thought he's almost 10 years old. He might absolutely love them. So give it a let him try something different in his senior years. Why not? One more look at my little fairy garden pieces, which, I mean, in theory they're meant for aquariums, but I don't believe that. I believe everything in that section could be used in a fairy garden. And I'm going to give you a quick little look at my receipt. This is from PetSmart and in Nanaimo, where I live. The dog treats. So my little mushrooms were $5.99 on sale for $4.79, and my portal right here was normally $18.99 on sale for $15.19. So for me, these are pricier fairy garden items, but definitely worth it. And I am hoping one day in the distant future, if I continue making fairy gardens from PetSmart figurines, maybe PetSmart will sponsor me. I would absolutely love to be sponsored by PetSmart. I could make all kinds of fairy gardens, maybe throw Supervisor in there a couple times. So PetSmart, if you're watching this, I would be honored to be sponsored by you.
The next day.
First off, I could not go to PetSmart without getting this piece. I was thinking about it so much yesterday. The perfect piece for my Magic Mushroom series and probably some more Halloween videos as well. I just absolutely love it. It was by far the most expensive fairy garden thing I have ever purchased. Mom, you need to mute your volume right now because you don't need to know how much this costs. Here is my receipt. It was normally a $60 item on sale for $47.99. Crazy expensive, but I do think it was worth it. I'm going to have to try to incorporate it into lots of videos to get my money's worth, but such a cool character. And there was only one of these. They had so many duplicates of other ornaments, but literally there was only one of these really cool tree stumps, so I really needed to buy it. It is so happy we came. Thanks once again for watching my PetSmart shop with me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And PetSmart, if you are watching this, I would be delighted if you decided to sponsor my channel one day. I will make many, many fairy gardens. We could do some shop with me's with Supervisor. Wishing you some lovely fall weather. And we will see you back in the garden very soon. Bye for now.